Melissa Tucci, she's a award-winning real estate professional. She's out of the metro market. She's #1 for Century 21 All Service. I believe that she's #4 in the nation, #5 in the world. Joining me here on the couch is Melissa Tucci.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, good to be here.
I think we should go ahead and address the low inventory. Are you still seeing that? We really haven't touched that on this show.
Absolutely, and just to actually highlight on the
video.
The video.
Was that from where you're from? Was that Chicago? Was that Chicago?
Yep,
I'm sure people here in San Diego are just watching that video, be like, why do we care about Washington?
I know.
But the weather doesn't really affect it here.
Correct. Well, what she had said about as far as there's permits in the county and in the city, and that's because the process itself takes almost a year to a year and a half, and so we're going to start seeing more and more people purchasing vacant properties, and in that process for about a year to a year and a half, and some of them already halfway there, and then the new construction will start once those permits are issued.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the builders really expand. I think it'd help with a lot of the inventory issues that we have here. But the one thing you always have to think about with real estate or anything in the economy is supply and demand. And there's always going to be a demand for this perfect weather that we experience year round. You just had family in town, you mentioned during the break. I did as well.
Right.
It's always a nice reminder of how great it is in this city that we live. You're originally from the Midwest, so am I. But here on the other side of the issue, we have sellers, right? Now, a lot of people realize a lot of gain in equity, so they're selling, they're repositioning that equity, move up buyers. So it's been a nice run in the real estate market. But what we've seen recently, and we've referred a lot of these people to you on the radio show, a lot of people are reaching out now because they still owe more than their house is worth. Why I'm getting this much activity now from, by the way, if that's you, go to craigsewing.com, we'll help you. But why I'm getting this many questions about loan modification, HARP 2.0, short selling, foreclosure now versus the last couple of years is really confusing to me. But I was hoping you could speak to this here today and just make people understand what their options are. So
sure.
Now you've mentioned previously that you think there might be another wave of potential short sales and foreclosures. What's your thought around that?
Well, I do, just because there are a lot of people in pre-foreclosure status, which is someone that's more than 90 days behind on their mortgage and a notice of default is filed. So it only makes sense. There's a lot of different things that happen. People might lose jobs, their income levels might change. So I think the market is still stabilized, but everyone's financial situation is different. So
yeah, the sequesters hitting the market now, that's something to pay attention to. Don Meredith was in here earlier talking about businesses doing well. Something about a lot of the businesses doing well is they're doing well because they've cut a lot of fat out of their business, but they've also cut a lot of muscle and bone to be lean and mean. So the jobs numbers really aren't improving that much despite the market going up and the real estate market going up. So, I tend to agree. And we see people go online and they go to craigsewing.com and we're getting these inquiries and you're helping people navigate that. So let's look at the top things that people need to know if you're in that situation. Melissa is going to help us with this. So I'll kick us off on number one. So refinancing. Now, what you've heard about is HARP 2.0, right? This is a program that the president touted in a State of the Union. You either qualify or you don't. I think everybody's already tried it. If you don't qualify for HARP 2.0, even if you do, you're not necessarily going to save very much money. So I don't really look at that as having been any type of solution to the housing market. You might have saved $100, $200. You still should have short sold the home.
Right, I agree.
The second thing on there was loan modification. Right now, I'm going to let you speak to this and see what experiences you've seen with your clients out there. But what I've seen in loan modification, a lot of people got ripped off on loan mods for a while. The laws changed. You couldn't charge money up front. We aligned our radio show with Michael Ripley, who is an attorney, is outstanding at getting these on principal reduced, interest rates reduced. He's not going to charge you a dime to find out if you can do it or not. And if you can, he'll take you through the process. But I've seen him do some really incredible things. However, it is still a small percentage of people that can get worked out. So what have you seen on that front?
Well, on the loan modifications, a lot of clients that I've done short sales have tried the loan modification first, and maybe they've gotten $150, $200 reduced, but it gets attached to the principal that they owe.
Right.
So they're still in a poor position and it just doesn't make financial sense for them. So then they decide to go with the short sale route. So a lot of people that I've dealt with have not had good experience, but that's not to say that there are some that haven't. So
yeah, 3 and 4 on your list there were short sale and
never
foreclose. Now, if you want deeper information on all this, I really encourage you to go online, melissatucci.com. She can help you with all this. But let's combine those two. So you have foreclosing on one side, you have short selling on the other. I can't tell you how many people have reached out online for us and said, hey, I'm underwater, just going to give the house back to the bank. Can you explain how catastrophic a mistake that can be?
Well, absolutely. It hurts your credit, it hurts your finances, it makes it difficult to buy for another several years once it's done. I think a lot of people don't realize a short sale is very, very easy to do. It doesn't affect you. You could, it affects your credit, but you could buy again in the next 3 years.
Now, are you seeing anybody that you've helped to short sell their real estate get back into the market?
I have, actually. Ironically, just recently, this past month, I helped a buyer that I did a short sale for 3 years ago, and they actually waited to close year to date on the actual date from 3 years ago. And they're happy. Their credit is over 700. They're in a new property, and they're no longer renting. So it makes sense for people.
You can protect your credit, and we have a credit expert on our radio show that really does help on things like this. Look, it's resetting. The law protects you. You don't have tax liability. It's just a smart thing to do. Let's look at the metro market and where you have your office right there, right? And let's look at some of the stats there where you're positioned with your office of Century 21 All Service. So these are, you realtors and you experts, you speak in zip codes. I don't know the zip codes the way that you do.
Sure. So I'll just break it down. The top zip code is 92103, which is Mission Hills. And you could see from last year, the median home price has increased almost 22%. The next one is 92104, which is North Park. And the median home price year to date has increased almost 3%. 92105 is City Heights, increased again almost 14%. 92108 is the Mission Valley area, and that also has increased pretty dramatically from last year as well. And then 92116 is University Heights, Normal Heights, and Kensington, and that's increased almost 13%.
Yeah, so everywhere has done really well for the last year. And look, if realtors' production numbers are available to guys like me who can get their hands on them. They're not really available to the public. Sure. Melissa Tucci is at the top of the food chain in San Diego. So when you see those types of numbers, she's helped real families buy, move up, sell their real estate, specifically in the metro market, which is where you're niche. I know you got a team and you cover all of San Diego, but in that particular market, who's buying in there? Is it the first-time home buyer? Is it the investor?
It's actually a mix, but I have a lot of first-time home buyer clients, a lot of move-up buyers, and investors. So I would say primarily it's probably about 50-50 first-time home buyers and move-up buyers.
And you love that area. I love that area.
It's a great area. It's central. You could walk to restaurants. You could walk to shops. It's near the freeways. It's near downtown. I mean, there's so many different reasons why so many people like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a walking testimonial. I own several pieces of real estate, but was looking to buy recently here in San Diego another home, and this is who I reached out to. So I certainly stand by the confidence I instill in Melissa. Let's actually look at your website here. I get to play with the iPad again, which is always fun.
Great.
So give me some examples of properties that you have listed right now.
All right, so why don't we...
You just kind of took over there, so I don't get to play with it anymore.
All right, so...
Let me, go ahead and click on it. I want to maybe expand it a little bit so it's easier to see. So these are some of your listings that you have right now in this market?
Yes, that's correct. This one is in Mission Hills. Oh. This is not putting up together here. And
there we go.
We'll kind of go like that.
There we go.
It should...
So that's an $899,000 house.
Right.
Well,
so it's
look, go to melissatucci.com and you can see all of her listings if you just click on listings over here to the left. But give me some examples of these properties that you see out there.
So this one for $900,000, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It's over 2,400 square feet, and it's only 16 years old, and it has a beautiful bay view. So that's a great property right off.
Now I'm going to think that might be a little high price range for some.
It is, and so another great option, especially for a first-time home buyer, is this one right here. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Mission Hills on Dove.
Let me go ahead and which one is it now?
Right here.
So $399,000 to $415,000. There we go. Makes it a little bit easier.
And when you go on my website and you click on it, it actually opens up with all the information.
Right.
That has a pool.
You gotta love live TV.
Yes. It has a pool, fitness center, sauna, and that is listed at $399,000 to $415,000. So definitely much more affordable. There's another that I have in the Bay Park area on Gesner. Let's see where we're going here.
So it looks like there's a lot more affordability. The first one you showed was $899,000. Is a pretty nice home, great view.
And
Here's another one, 649,000. Now, what I like about that's Bay Park, right?
Right, that's Bay Park. That's on a canyon lot, and that's a.
How do you keep up?
You know,
I mean,
I
honestly,
have a
how do you
lot of
keep up with all these
energy,
properties?
and I pride myself on professionalism and being very much on top of it.
A Midwest work ethic.
Yes, and I'm always available via email, texting, phone. So it's real estate for me is a passion. It's not a job, and I truly think that comes across with my clients.
And I've seen it firsthand. You truly are. I literally told someone this today, that you are 24/7. You know who I said it to? I said it to John Reeves when we were over by the 80-inch iPad and we were talking to him. And that was the first time I think he's met you in person out there. And I said, she is the definition of 24/7. I've seen it firsthand. Well, thanks for coming in here today.
Thanks for having me.